Greetings. Welcome back to Beaver Branch Disc Golf Adventures. Brian Morris, Team Under Par Apparel, and Trilogy Talk team. Check out Trilogy Talk. Type in Morris22 at checkout to get a discount. Today we're going to check out the Moonshine Escape, or I should say Lucid Moonshine Escape. Moonshine means that it's the glow plastic. The Escape comes in at a speed 9, glide 5, turn of -1, and a fade of 2. Today we're going to test this bad boy out against a nice brand new Lucid Sparkle or Glimmer. It's got the flakes in it. And we're also going to cross-check it against the Supreme Escape, which does have the same flight numbers as the other, even though this is technically a different mold because of the plastic. So we're going to check it out. I'm excited to check out the Moonshine. This is an understable fairway driver, and this is in particular a very good disc to learn how to throw straight. In my bag, I have a 7-speed Maverick, which I can snap straight with a certain amount of arm speed, and Hyzer, snap it straight, make it go straight for 280, 320. The next step up for me is the Escape. So if there is a little bit more headwind, I might move up to the 9-speed. Takes a little bit more arm speed and a little bit more snap to get it straight. And you can get it out there a little further to say 320 to 360, or maybe even more than that. The Escape, also called the fairway driver that wants to be a distance driver. Let's check it out. All right, here we have a look at Lucid Moonshine on the left and regular Lucid on the right. It looked to me like the regular Lucid had a little bit more dome. You'll see that in a second. Moonshine left, Supreme on the right. Supreme is coming from a different mold, but it is very similar from the testing I've done. Here is the Lucid and the Supreme. And you can see there when they're upside down that Lucid on the right has a little bit more dome, I think, than the Moonshine or the Supreme. There's a look at how the Supreme on the right matches up with the Moonshine. And lastly, you have Lucid on the left and Supreme on the right. Bottom shots. On to the action. We're going to start off, as always, with a Hyzer release. We're going to go Moonshine, then regular Lucid, and then Supreme on all 3 shots here. The Escape is a great disc for a lower arm speed, and you can really get it to straighten out. You know, if you can't get it to straighten out, then you want to go down to something like a River or a Maverick, something in that department. I noticed throughout this that the Supreme, in my opinion, has more glide and maybe a little bit more turn than both of the other two. Here's a look at the spread. Now we're going to go for the flat release or straight shot. Trying to snap it straight. Try to get the true flight of the disc. And again, if you can do field work and match your arm speed with the correct angle, the Escape is a great disc to fly perfectly straight for you. You'll notice here on the Supreme that it does seem to want to turn a little bit more, almost kind of like a Vandal-esque type shot. If you're used to throwing Vandals, that's what it reminded me of a little bit more stable, obviously. Here's a look at that spread on those 3 shots. Always happy to try to have a consistent landing area. Here is our Anhyzer releases with the Moonshine. Trying to use a very slight headwind to try to hold that disc over, and trying to throw all 3 of them at about the same angle. Now the Escape is a great disc to have a nice left to right shot, Anhyzer shot. And out of the three, I thought the Supreme did the nicest job of it when I was out doing field work with it. You can see these three shots all landed pretty close to one another. Here we're going to go with a Forehand, kind of a Hyzer release. This is an understable disc, so if you're a chop forehand player, you got to put a lot more Hyzer on the Escape. But you can get it out there on a nice finesse toss. These three shots are pretty inconsistent. I would probably say that Lucid is the most stable, and then the Moonshine, and then the Supreme, in that order. Here's a look at that spread and our final grand finale shot coming up. All right, for the last shot here, we're gonna shoot all of my Escapes, orange ones mixed in, straight shots. See what happens. All right, here we go. We're gonna go Moonshine. Trying to do about the same release on all of these to show you the difference between my seasoned Escapes, which can go very far on that same release. Here's a newer one. You can see the newer ones all are going to fade out a little bit more, and my three very seasoned orange ones, well, I think this middle orange one is not quite as beat in as the other two, as you'll see. But the Supreme, the Moonshine, and the Lucid all definitely have some more stability to them. One of these absolutely crushed and went almost all the way down to the target I was throwing it towards. Here's a look at that spread very quickly. All of those newer discs on the left, and you can see the one disc got all the way down almost into the bullseye, or if not in the bullseye. That's all for this video. Check out the Escape. They're available at Trilogy Talk. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.